Well, are we live?
We are live.
Should we start? Should we officially start it?
No.
Close enough. We always at Safety Council, we start early and end on time or end early when it's appropriate. But Happy New Year, it's July the 1st. Happy new fiscal year, not to be confused. It's the financial professional's favorite time of year because we get to dive into financials and audits. It's so much fun. Right, JP?
Yes.
But we are excited to be in Sandy. The Safety Council is officially out of Salt Lake City. We have moved everything over to Sandy. We're happy and excited to be here. We've been here about a month now, but we're here full time. So come see us. Doors always open. People are always here to help. Happy to be in Sandy, and we're happy to have all the cooperation and fun things that Sandy City's helping us with to keep people safe. Okay, I've said Happy New Year. I've talked about the fun with audits and annual reports. Our annual meeting where we will present our financials and do some board business as a nonprofit. We are required to present, what we've done over the past year, both to advance our mission of advancing safety and saving lives, as well as, how we perform financially. And that happens on October the 3rd this year up at Weber State Davis campus in Clearfield or Layton. Technically, I think it's in Clearfield, but it's right there. So it'll be our second time at this venue. We're excited to be up there again. So mark your calendars for October the 3rd at 11 o'clock, 11 to 1. We booked a keynote speaker yesterday. We're having a 20s vibe themed event, and it's going to be 1920s, not 20s, not 20s. But a reminder on that is we do give away a variety of awards, lifetime award, merit awards for companies, lifesaver awards, and we have been accepting nominations for those awards currently, but they are due at the end of July on the 31st, which I think is a Thursday or a Friday. Yes. Next slide, right? Okay. There it is. Yep. If you look at your computers, it's all right there. So with July, we're excited for the 4th of July holiday, which is coming up this week. We will be closed for the 4th, and we will be closed for the 24th of July for Utah's Pioneer Day celebration. And then that same week, July 21st to the 23rd, we don't have a full staff, but we will be attending to voicemails and phone calls and emails. So we're still working, but everybody's got stuff going on in July, and so call, email. You can call us at our number here at 801-476-7233, and then safety is our email, safety@utahsafetycouncil.org. All right, and with that, I'm going to turn it over to Fabiana to officially get started with Safety Starter for July 2025. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. My name is Fabiana, and I'm here to still give you a recap of what we did last week and our events for Women in Safety. We had a very inspiring day with Rachel Royale. We were learning so much about leadership. We were so honored to have her, and we can just wait to learn more from her. So please stay tuned. There you go. For our next upcoming event in August. Check our Instagram, our website, and all social media. We're going to be posting for our next event. And next, we will have Karen to introduce our new guest.
Thank you, Fabi. Good morning, everyone. Aloha, everyone. Yes. As we walk into the busy month of July, we wanted to take a moment. Let's all take a moment to look back and celebrate June, right? National Safety Month. This past month was all about shining a spotlight on the importance of safety in our workplaces, our homes, and throughout our communities. It's a reminder that safety is not just a rule, it is a shared value that protects what matters most, people. We're incredibly grateful for the outstanding support we received right here in Utah. A heartfelt thank you to, first and foremost, Governor Spencer Cox. How about a hand for Governor and his office? Thank you so much. Second is our very own Salt Lake City Mayor, Aaron Mendenhall. How about a hand for Aaron? Thank you, Mayor. And then next was South Salt Lake City Mayor Cherry Wood. How about a hand for our Sherry Wood? And last but not least, our very local Sandy City Mayor, Monica Sotansky. Thank you so much, Mayor. We appreciate it for stepping up and officially proclaiming June Safety as the National Safety Month. Your leadership helps us all keep safety front and center. So as we move into July and these busy summer months, let's keep that momentum going. Remember, when we work together and make safety our priority, everyone wins. Thanks for all you do, and let's keep safety first today and every day. Without further ado, next on our agenda, and I'd like to remind our listeners and those who are tuning in to please hold all your questions for our speaker at the end of her presentation. Today we have coming to us Miss Abigail Smith. She graduated from the Utah State University in 2020 with a degree in health education and promotion. She is currently working for Sandy City Fire Department as the fire prevention educator. For the last 2 years, she's been doing that. She's very passionate about it, and she's also passionate about education, outreach, and reaching out to the community. When she's not at work, Abigail loves to spend time with her family and her dog, Roscoe. Give it up for Miss Abigail Smith.
All right. Hello, thank you. Then do I have to stay by the microphone?
Take it with you, those words.
Cool. All right. Well, hi guys. Thanks for having me. Actually, fun fact, my 3-year mark will be in 2 days on July 3rd. So that's exciting. But today I want to talk about home fire drills because we see a lot more fires during the summer months. And most people don't practice a fire drill at home. Anyone here, have you ever practiced a home fire drill?
No.
Okay, there's 3 people in here. That's usually when I go into schools and we teach this to our 4th graders, it's like 1 or 2 in the whole grade. So A+ for you guys who have done it. So let's talk about home fire drills. And to begin, I have a introduction video to why this is such a big deal. So we're gonna watch that first.
What if the unexpected occurred and fire came knocking? Would your family know what to do? What you're about to watch is a reenactment of a real event.
We all might not be in the same room if there's a fire that happens. We all need to know how to get out of the house. So primarily this is going to be the way we want to go. Quicken up the front door. For some reason you guys can't get out that way. We need to use our bedroom windows. If you can, come around. If you guys are lost, we need to meet around the mailbox.
Got it.
Remember to crawl, stay low, stay under the smoke. You guys always remember to check the doors for heat, but use the back of your hand so that way if you need to use your hand for any reason, you can still grab stuff. If there's a fire, make sure you guys don't hide under your beds or get in the closet. Get over to your window, open it, start screaming, make as much noise as you can, draw as much attention to yourself as possible. If it's the screen's out, throw toys out, do whatever you can to get a firefighter to realize you're up here and get help.
Mother, why is the alarm going off?
Oh, I was cooking chicken! Fire! MJ, do you remember the plan?
house is on fire.
Where's Catherine at? Where's Catherine?
She's still in the house.
10-4, engine 5, engine 3 is en route. Help me! Help me!
Just one person? Up in which room? Up there, right there. That's the last place we saw her. Okay. We'll take care of it. Stay right here.
Engine 5 on scene, heavy fire showing on all sides. Direct exposure to it.
We all need to know how to get out of the house.
What if the unexpected happened and your house caught fire? Would your family know what to do? Every year, 3,000 people die in house fires. Sadly, many of those deaths could have been prevented.
We'll stop the video there. This was actually reenacted by one of our firefighters and his family, which is pretty cool. But just goes to show that it's important to know what to do if there is ever a fire in your home. So that's why we talk about it, because a lot of people don't have that conversation with their family and don't know what to do when that smoke alarm starts beeping and there is a fire. So the video mentioned that there were 3,000 house deaths of a home fire last year. This is actually a little bit older of a video, and that number has actually gone up to 3,750. So it is increasing, but we're going to talk about how to not let that number increase and how to keep everyone safe. So I have a couple numbers for you up here. The first one, in the US, there's a home fire every 86 seconds. So they are happening. It's not just like, oh, you know, it might not happen. It might happen. It probably won't. They are happening in the US. And on average, fire claims 9 lives every day. So we don't want to just be a statistic, right? So let's talk about why this is happening. What do you think are the top causes of home fires? Chicken? What was that? Smoking. Yep, that's actually number 1. Electrical, that one is number 4. Nice. Any other thoughts? Kitchen fires, cooking fires are a big one. That one is number 2. Some other ones. So like I said, smoking, number 1, and it has been for a while. Cooking fires are number 2. Heating fires are 3rd. Electrical, and then candles are the 5th top cause of home fires. So I actually brought, I'll have to take this with me. I brought with me, we call this my burn bag. And I'll just need to put one glove on. Hold on one moment.
Good.
Okay, yeah, thank you though. Okay, so these are actually items that have come from home fires here in Sandy. So like we said, cooking is number 2. I don't have any from smoking because you can't really save anything from that, but I've got this nice frying pan. You can totally still use that, right? We like to call this our smiley face pan. This is a smiley face. But this fire occurred because the power went out and the family was cooking breakfast on the stove when it went out, and it was an electrical stove. And so when it went out, they're like, well, we need to go eat breakfast. So they went out to eat and didn't turn off the stove. So when the power came back on, it started a fire. I think they were cooking bacon. That's right. And it burned completely through that pan and started a fire in their home. So that's from cooking. Let's see. We've got one from heating. This one, I want you to guess what this used to be. Hair dryer. Yep. This, the family's pipes froze. And so they thought, well, I'll just heat it up with a hairdryer. So they hung the hairdryer over the pipes to keep the heat on it and then left it there. And it overheated, started a fire. The hairdryer caught fire. There's not much left of it right there. And started their home on fire. So that's one from heating. Let's see, I've got a couple other ones. Let's see. We'll talk about electrical next. I've got a few from electrical. Maybe. I'll show you right here. I've got an extension cord here. Do you see the fray right there on the wire? So this one didn't actually start a fire, but it easily could have because those wires are exposed. So this extension cord was underneath a rug that the family would walk over all the time. And because of that constant pressure and rubbing against the rug, it started to fray the cord. So with this, please don't put extension cords under rugs or in doorways where people are going to walk over them. That's where we see them get frayed like this. I've got an iron right here. That caught fire. This one, the family relied on the automatic shutoff for the iron to shut off. So they didn't actually unplug it or turn it off because it has an automatic shutoff switch, which should work all the time, right? No. It's a man-made object, they malfunction, and this one did not turn off, overheated, and that iron caught fire. Let's see, got another one in here. This one is a power strip. And this one, there's a crack. You can see it online. There's a crack right there. And this power strip caught fire because they were daisy chaining it, meaning they put too many plugs in or they plugged in another power strip to it. That was just too much wattage for this strip alone. So that caught a fire. Then I've got one more I want to show you. This one is power outlet. And it was plugged, a lamp cord was plugged in, and this power outlet was situated behind a couch. So the lamp outlet or plug was not flat. And so every time someone sat in the couch or it got scooted, it would rub up against the plug. And this actually caused a fire in the insulation in the wall. And so the fire traveled up the wall. So if you have any plugs that are behind furniture, make sure it's one of those flat plugs. Have you guys seen those? Okay, so it doesn't stick out or it won't rub weird. Or you can just keep your plugs not right behind anything. That works too. All right, that's all I got for now in my burn bag. I'll show you something else in a second. But so sorry. There we go. Another top cause that I wanted to mention, I don't have any fun props for it, but it's one that we're seeing more and more of, and it's the lithium-ion batteries. So batteries for the rechargeable electric items you might have, like laptops, they're in there, any electric car batteries, or the electric scooters or hoverboards, those have them. And what we see when a fire occurs with that is they were charging them inside the house. So whenever you charge a big item, like one of those electric scooters, charge them outside, away from anything that's going to catch on fire. Because if those get plugged in and forgotten about, they will overheat. And those fires inside a home can be a little more scary. They go up in toxic smoke faster. So just be wary with the lithium-ion batteries. Make sure that you unplug the devices when they're finished charging and don't charge large items inside the house, like I mentioned. Okay, now that I scared you all, I have a couple questions to make this a little bit more fun. So if you're watching, can they put it in the chat? Okay, if you have an answer, go ahead and put it in the chat. For us here, we'll talk about it. But my first question for you is, if there's smoke in my house, will it wake me up if I'm sleeping? Any thoughts? I'm seeing head shake. Yeah. Yes?
That smell bothers me so much. I can smell it from a mile away. It's a little
Hmm.
way for sure.
Okay, so the smoke's gonna wake you up. Any other thoughts? Yes, no, someone else will wake me? Well, there is actually one answer, and it's no, I won't wake up. And this is because when you're sleeping, when you're awake, you can smell the smoke, right? And you can smell it and be like, okay, there's smoke. I need to get outside. But when you're sleeping, the smoke, you breathe it in and it puts you into a deeper and deeper sleep because smoke is a poison. So if it's not going to wake you up, is it going to wake up anyone else in the house? No, it's going to put everyone in a deeper and deeper sleep. And it can be very disorienting and dark. So as firefighters, when we train on how to get someone out of a burning building, because with flames, there's always going to be smoke, right? There's going to be lots of smoke, more than the flames, usually. And what we do when we train for this is we actually blindfold ourselves. We have all of our gear on and we black out our mask and we have to go in and rescue someone because that's honestly how dark it's going to be. You can't see your hand in front of your face. So if you wanted to practice how to get out of your house without looking, you can always blindfold yourself and practice, which is a little funny if you're not the one doing it. But one helpful thing is always keeping a hand on the wall because eventually you're going to find a door. So that can be helpful as well. Now, if the smoke is not going to wake you up, what will?
No alarm.
The smoke alarm, right? The smoke alarm. And it's always super loud. Whenever I teach kids about smoke alarms, they're always like, why is it so loud? It hurts my ears. But it has to be loud so then it wakes us up, right? And I have my last item I want to show you from my burn bag. And this is a smoke alarm from a fire. So this is what happened after the fire was put out. This is how the smoke alarm looked. But guess what? It was still beeping. After the fire was put out, it was still beeping because they are pretty amazing and they work when they're used properly. And they will still be working even after the fire is put out to still warn you. Now, to make sure that the smoke alarm is working though, it has to be on the ceiling with batteries. Working batteries, exactly. A lot of people, or we hear stories that they took out the batteries because the smoke alarm was always beeping when mom was cooking in the kitchen. Yeah?
It can burn. I don't know. But it's very sensitive.
Yes.
Now I'm glad it did, It's
Yeah.
just like, it's something new. It's very like a sensitive alarm. Like, so
That way you know it works, right? Yeah. A lot of people, because it goes off whenever they cook, they'll just take it off the ceiling or take out the batteries, and then there's no smoke alarm on that floor. So, we recommend that there is a smoke alarm inside each bedroom, so each room that someone sleeps in, and also outside of the bedroom, and then one on each level of the house. But do you think if I just have one outside the bedroom, right next to it in the hallway, will that work?
Yeah, I'm sleeping in the hallway.
If you're sleeping in the hallway, yes, it's going to work. But when there is a smoke alarm only in the hallway and not in the bedroom, that's where we see people still sleeping as the fire is going. So it doesn't wake people up. It has to be inside the bedroom as well as outside. That way they can hear it, it's louder, and there's no door for that sound barrier. They can hear when the smoke is inside. So having one inside the bedroom is super, super helpful. Now, what do you do when you hear a smoke alarm? What if it's beeping, that really loud beep 3 times? What do you do? Turn it off?
Yeah. Oh, no.
No, because what does it mean when it's beeping like that? Not quite. That one makes like a chirping noise. Yep, it sounds like there's a bird in the house. But if it's beeping 3 times really loudly, that means that it senses smoke or fire. So if that happens, then you need to get outside as quickly as possible. Now, if there's smoke in the room, you want to crawl under the smoke, right? crawling on your hands and knees like a baby is actually the fastest. We've tested this at the fire department. We had our firefighters crawl on their hands and knees and also crawl like army crawl on their stomach and see who is fastest. And every single time, the people that crawled on their hands and knees were faster. So it is actually faster. We've tested it. But one of the most common things that I hear in schools when I teach kids is that if the smoke alarm is going, I need to stop, drop, and roll. That's not the case. Do you know when you should stop, drop, and roll? When you're on fire, yeah. But if there's smoke in the room and a kid stop, drops, and rolls, that's not going to be very helpful. We need to crawl and get outside. But that is the number one answer we get in schools. It's always stop, drop, and roll. So teaching kids when to stop, drop, and roll can be really helpful as well. All right. Now, my next question is, what would be a good meeting place? Would it be a tree that's touching the house, a shed in the backyard, a mailbox on the street, or we're going to figure it out in a moment? Mailbox. Yeah, it is. It is a mailbox on the street. A good meeting place means it's somewhere in the front yard and it's not touching the house and it's not going to move. So if it's the neighbor's car that's there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, that's not a good option because what if there's a fire on Thursday? Then your meeting place is gone. Also, if it's something that's touching the house, it could catch on fire. And then my meeting place that I'm standing under is now on fire. And if it's in the backyard, we can't see you. The main thing about a meeting place being in the front yard is when we get there, we can see you all in the meeting place out front. And then we know that no one is inside. But if we arrive and no one is out in the front yard, we assume that they're in the house. And that's when we would go in and save them. So a mailbox on the street, it's in the front yard, it's not gonna move, and it's not touching the house. Perfect option. I actually have a story about meeting places. We had a fire in Sandy, and this family had a lot of people in their family. So when the fire happened, half of them went out the front door and they went over to this neighbor's house. Then half of them went out the back door and they went over to this neighbor's house. So then when we got there, no one was in the front yard. They hadn't talked about whose neighbor's house they were going to go to for the meeting place. And half this family, this half, came out and said, we don't know where the rest of our family is. So our crew went inside the house that was on fire. And when we got in, the floor collapsed and our crew fell in the basement. Now the basement had no windows. So we had to use our tools and equipment and cut a hole in the wall of the basement to get our crew out. And one of our crew members was actually hurt so badly, he's not a firefighter anymore. So after all of that happened, this half of the family came out and said, we're right here. We're safe. Did all of that need to happen? Did we have to go into the house? No. And if they had talked about what a meeting place, where their meeting place would be, none of that would have happened. So some other options for meeting places are it could be a big street lamp that's maybe across the street or at the end of the driveway. It could be a neighbor's house. Just make sure you specify which neighbor it is. Or it could be a tree that's not touching the house. Or like I said before, a mailbox that's not touching the house as well. So thinking and talking to your family about what would be a good meeting place for us is super important. So then everyone knows, okay, if the smoke alarm is going off, if there's a fire, this is where we're going to meet. That's where everyone's going to meet. And if everyone's there, we know we got out safely. Super important. Here's my last question. This is my favorite. Should you sleep with your bedroom door open, closed, or halfway? What do we think? Closed. Any reasons why?
Fire destroying house, but the room with the door closed is just fine.
It's true. There are lots of pictures out there where if they kept their bedroom door closed, the room is okay. We're actually going to see one in a second. So it is, spoiler, closed. We ask kids this in schools and their answers are so entertaining. It's always like, open or halfway open, or closed if they've heard about fire safety before. But so entertaining. We're actually going to watch a video to kind of visualize this concept and see what we were talking about the doors helping, or the pictures of the doors and the fire not going in there. So the door being closed actually helps prevent the fire from getting in as fast, and it helps so the smoke and the heat stay out of the room less. So this was done with a collaboration between FEMA and UL. It's Underwriters Laboratories. They're the ones that certify smoke alarms and fire extinguishers. So they actually put this to the test, and they invited some community members and asked them the same question. And as you'll see, they all said open. So they put it to the test to show them, and we're gonna watch what happened.
Oh my God, that is insane.
In the event of a fire, who here thinks that you're safer sleeping with the doors open?
I keep them open because I was a mom for so long.
My kid's room is 2 doors down from mine.
Always open.
I'm not all that confident they would stop anything anyway. Harold, hey. Ben. Ben, nice to meet you.
Harold, have a seat.
Hi, nice to meet you guys.
Hello. I'm right here.
Chris, how are you?
Great.
As you think about fire safety, what keeps you up at night?
Yeah, I'm not too concerned. I probably don't think about a fire threat as much as I should, because I do forget to turn things off often.
Have you ever been through one?
A fire? No.
We told you that you'd be coming here today for discussion, but what we didn't tell you is that there is also a demonstration that we want to show you. Sound good? I want to introduce you to Steve, the director of the UL Firefighter Safety Research Institute. I'll let Steve take it away.
Welcome. My job is to lead a team of people that study how fire grows and spreads so we can keep you safe. Here at the Delaware County Emergency Services Training Center, we essentially turn this place into a laboratory. We've got several structures around here that we build to simulate where you live. And one of those structures is right here behind me. What I want you to do is I want to take you inside here, and I want you to see how this looks like your home. And then once we get you outside, we're gonna go ahead and recreate what would happen if there was a fire in this structure right here. Look pretty normal? Yeah, got some furnishings. You'll notice the difference down here as we walk down. This bedroom door will be closed, and the one at the end of the hall will be open. And what I want you to do is pay attention to the comparison of the two of those and think about you and your family trying to survive this fire. All right, we just hit the button. We have ignition.
Oh boy, there she goes. Oh man, that is scary.
It's scary, right?
Yeah, it's really frightening.
Look, we have smoke coming out over here already.
Smoke's coming out.
What a lot of people don't realize is that the furnishings that are in our homes today are made of synthetic materials. So they burn so much faster than your old natural cotton-filled furnishings used to be. The statistics that we've seen through our research is in about 40 years ago, you had about 17 minutes to get out of your house after the smoke alarm sounded. Now you have less than 3 minutes.
Holy crap. See, this is the things that we were. Oh my God. Whoa. Can you feel that? How can you survive that? Seriously, that is insane.
All right, go ahead, knock it down. All right, as you remember, closed door on the left, open door on the right. And you can see the dramatic difference between the two with the simple closed door.
Impressive.
We want people to be as prepared as possible and understand the importance and how little time you have and what that simple barrier can provide to you and your family should you have a fire.
we'll stop it there. I don't show you this and talk about all this to scare you guys, but just to help you prepare for if this were to happen. So let's take a look at those bedrooms a little closer. So a reminder, this one kept the door closed, this one kept the door open. And do you see the dramatic difference there? It's wow. So the fire never went into this room that left the door open. It stayed in the living room. And just to remind you, the living room was actually on the other side of the closed bedroom door, or the closed door bedroom. So this closed door bedroom was closer to the fire. All this damage was from smoke and heat. So during the fire, as you saw, they had cameras set up in each room. They also had temperature gauges too. So in the closed door bedroom, it got up to 100 degrees. You can live in 100-degree weather, right? Yeah, we do in the summer all the time. Not excited for it. But in this open door bedroom, the temperature got to 1,000 degrees. That you can't live in. Now, this was all done from the smoke and the heat, all that damage. Do you see any damage in the closed door bedroom? There's a little bit, right? There's a little bit above the door. But you could clean that. That would be fine. You could live in that bedroom again. This room, even if you completely cleaned it, you could never live in that room again because of the chemicals and the smoke. They've now seeped into the carpet, into the walls. You would have to completely gut that room and rebuild it in order to live in it again. Sorry. Now, this is why it's so important to keep that bedroom door closed, because as we see, it helps keep the smoke and the heat out. It also keeps the fire out. So a bedroom door like this in the US, it has, by law, it has to take at least 20 minutes from the fire to burn from one side of the door to the other. 20 minutes is a pretty long time in a fire. In Sandy, there is a fire station within 5 minutes of any house here in the city. We get to you in 5 minutes. Now it takes us 2 minutes to save you from a bedroom window. If it takes longer than 2 minutes, then we're not a firefighter anymore. We lost our job. That's how fast it is. So we get there and then in 2 minutes, so that's 7 minutes, 13 minutes, you're safe on the ground before the fire has even gotten through that door. Now in schools and other buildings, it takes longer. For schools, I think it's an hour, and they have other doors that are 2 hours for that fire to get through. So our doors can really be helpful in the events of a fire. Now we always want to try the door to exit. Does anyone know how to test the door to see if the fire's on the other side? Yeah, the back of your hand, right? And you do the back of your hand, you feel the door, because if you did the front and then you burned your hand, it would make it a lot more painful to crawl and grab things, right? So you test it with the back of your door, or the back of your hand. If you can't go out your door, if it's hot, or if you peek out, if the door wasn't hot, you peek out and you see smoke all the way to the ground, the next step is to go to your window. And we've learned by teaching kids that a lot of kids don't know what to do with their windows if they can't go out their door. So it's important to teach kids. And what we teach them is to stay next to their window, open it, throw things out like toys, stuffed animals, pillows, and yell out to get a firefighter's attention. Because our crew, our captain's gonna walk around the whole building and see if anyone is in one of those windows. So he's looking. So get the firefighter's attention and then wait for a firefighter or grown-up to come and help the child. Otherwise, they're like, oh, I'm just gonna crawl on the roof. Or I'm going to climb down the wall like Spider-Man. That's one of my favorite responses. Or one kid said, I'm going to run out my room, bring the trampoline closer to my window, run back outside, and then jump onto the trampoline. Doesn't work. When we see kids trying to get out the windows by themselves, that's where we see them getting hurt. So if you have a child in your home that is old enough, you want them to know how to climb out the window, practice. Teach them what to do. Teach them that you can push out the screen only in the event of emergencies. Because a lot of kids think there's a screen on my window, I can't get out. So teaching them what to do if they need to go out their windows and practicing it too. So has anyone ever heard of using a ladder to escape through a window? If you're on a second story or above building? Yeah. So I brought one. This is my escape ladder in a box. And these are good, but the thing I recommend is you practice with them because they're really thin. It's about the width of this box, I believe. And it's gonna be a struggle to get down if you've never used it before. Also, it's not very heavy. The latches are at the top, but the rest will sway. And trying to climb down that for the first time when you're already anxious about a fire and stressed, and then the ladder swinging, it's just not fun. So if you do get a ladder or have one at home, make sure you practice and teach kids what to do with it. Because we were told a story by someone who was taking one of our classes, and they said they had one of these, and they told their kids, if there's a fire and you can't go out your door, throw the ladder out the window. So they didn't practice. And so when there was a fire in their house, they took the box, they opened the window, and they threw the box out the window. And then they were still in their room. So make sure to practice if you have an emergency escape ladder. Make sure to practice, make sure the kids know how to use it, so then everyone can get out safely. All right. So a couple important things that I just want to touch on. First one is you never go back in the house for anything. If you're out of the house and there's a fire, stay outside. The number one question I get, what about pets? What about pets? Kids never want to ask about their baby brother or baby sister. They always ask, what about my dog? What about my cat? And with pets, firefighters are the ones that are going to go back in and get family and pets that are still inside. We train for that. We practice it all the time. We know what to do and we have the equipment and the gear to do that. So in these pictures up here, I've got, this was a little girl that was in a house fire. It's actually from the video before, but we have ladders, we have our gear. We know how to be on a roof of a house that's on fire because the roof is usually the most unstable part of the house when it's on fire. But we train on how to do that, how to save people from second story and higher buildings. So let us go do that. If you're outside, you have a ladder outside and your kid is at their window, go for it. But when we see people getting hurt or dying in a fire is when they go back inside the house to go save someone. So as firefighter Abigail, never go back inside. As community citizen Abigail, if you're outside and you have a ladder, go get them, but don't go back inside the house. We also rescue pets all the time. I don't know if you've seen, we've had it on social media, but in the spring, there's lots of ducks that walk across the sewer grates and get stuck. That is one of our #1 animal rescue calls in the springtime. So we've rescued a lot of baby ducks, but we rescue all kinds of animals. In this picture here, our firefighter has 2 cats, 1 in each arm, and rescued them from that house fire. Those cats are doing just fine. We also have medical equipment on our ambulances and our engines to help pets. So if maybe the dog was in the house for a little too long, breathes in a little too much smoke, we have oxygen that we can give them, which is pretty cool that we can help them. But I never want you guys running back into a fire to go save someone or go save a pet. If the pet is in the room with you or the child is in the room with you, take them with you. But if you have a cat that likes to get scared or goes and hides under the bed, could you maybe do something with your door of that room to help that animal? You could close it. Yeah, you could close that door and then go outside, and that door can help keep them safe. And then tell us, my cat, dog, whatever animal, we've rescued chickens, tarantulas, any kinds of pets. You can point to that window, say, they're right there. I know they like to hide under the bed. We will go in and save them. All right. And then the most important thing is to practice. So last year in the US, there were 1.5 million home fires. Like I said before, there were 3,750 people that died in a home fire. Now in schools, they practice fire drills all the time. So there were 4,980 school fires last year. Anyone want to guess how many deaths of a school fire? It was 0. It's 0. And it's because they practice all the time. You go into a school and you say, or I ask them, what do you do in a fire drill? Any one of those students can tell you exactly what to do. They know where to meet outside. They know they have to wait outside until they're told they can go back inside. And they huff and sigh about it, but they know exactly what to do because they practice. Now, in the beginning, there were a couple people in here who said they practice a home fire drill. It can make all the difference because if you practice a fire drill at home, could we make that 3,750 number of home fire deaths? We make that 0. Yeah, if everyone practiced, which is awesome. So a couple ways to practice a home fire drill is to know what to do. So draw out a plan of your house. This is one of our firefighters' houses, actually. And you can label it. You can make it as detailed as you want or as little details as you want. Whatever works for you. You can make it on the computer too. And label each room and make sure that there are 2 exits out of each room. So they're labeled with arrows on here. Now the door is going to be our number 1 exit. So we wrote a little number 1 by the door because that's how you go in and out of every room every day, right? You don't go out the window to come in through the front door. That's just me. Okay. And then our windows are our second exit. So if we can't go out our door, we go to our windows. So making sure each room has 2 exits and then seeing where your smoke alarms are. So we wrote it with a circle and an SA to show where the smoke alarms are, making sure there's one inside each bedroom and then outside of the bedroom and on every floor of the house. And testing them. Does anyone know how often you should test your smoke alarms? It's monthly, yeah. A lot of people say maybe once a year, maybe once every 6 months. We like to give a reminder that if you don't test them monthly, test them when you change your clocks, because then you're testing them at least once every 6 months. But it should be every month to make sure that they work, that the batteries are good, and that they're going to work in the event of a fire, right? All right, and then, so we have the arrows, we have the smoke alarms, and I want to make sure there is a meeting place as well. So whether that is the tree, whether it's a light post, the mailbox, the neighbor's house, making sure that it's written on there and that everyone in the family knows that's where we're meeting. And it's important to not just make this on your own, but make it with everyone in your household so that they are part of it too. They know what to do and practice with them as well. Let's see. With practicing, the last thing I want to say about it is you can make it fun. So like the video about the doors said, it takes a little bit less than 3 minutes for a house to fully be engulfed in fire. So we recommend get out of the house, 2 minutes. Time yourself. See who can be fastest in your household. Make it fun if you have kids in your house. See, oh, they got out in 1 minute 30. Oh, they got out in 1:45. Have it be fun. You can also make it harder by blindfolding, like we talked about, and seeing how fast you can get out of your house. It's actually it's a learning experience when you realize you can't get out of your house very fast when you're blindfolded. That was a learning experience for me. But make it fun. The important part is to practice it. And to not just practice it one time and never talk about it again. But have it be maybe a monthly thing when you test your smoke alarms. Maybe every 6 months, practice a home fire drill. Just so then it's going to become like, I just lost the word. But you're going to know it like the back of your hand. It's going to be that well ingrained in your brain to know what to do. All right, if you're wanting more information, here's my email and phone number to contact if you would like to talk to me more. Also, this QR code goes to our website where it goes step by step on how to make your own fire escape plan with your family. So you're welcome to look at that as well. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys. So any questions? Okay, yeah.
What's the best thing we can do to prevent fires?
Oh, good question. To prevent fires. That's a good question. Like we talked about with the main causes of fires, so making sure that if something is cooking, it was the number 2 cause of fire, right? Making sure that when it's done cooking, you turn off the stove, turning off the oven, making sure things are turned off, because it's more than you think. People forget to turn off things in their kitchen. And also those electrical cords. Daisy chaining is really common, and making sure that everything has its own plug, it's at the correct wattage or voltage for that outlet, so it's not too much and overpowers it. Those are some good ones.
Christmas trees.
Please don't do that.
Question.
Yeah.
For vital documents, would you recommend like a fire safe or something along those lines to be recovered after the fire, or should people try and grab those as they're trying to leave?
That's a good question. So what we recommend is actually having a go bag that has copies of the important documents. Also, like if you can't go back in your house, it has a change of clothes, it has food and water. And it can actually be used as an emergency bag too if there were a disaster and you couldn't, like a 72-hour kit. So having that you can just pick up and take with you as you're going out of the house. So somewhere easily accessible as well. It's really helpful. Good questions. Anything else?
What's the best type of fire extinguisher for a home?
Ooh, we recommend an ABC type. So it is good for, a good way to remember it is an A type is anything combustible that turns to ash. So any papers, woods, that kind of thing. A B is any flammable liquid, so anything that bubbles or boils. And a type C is electrical fire, so anything with a current. So a type ABC encompasses all those. I believe that's the one that's in the back of the room right now. Awesome.
And know how to use it.
And know how to use it, yes. That is a good thing to know.
What inspired you to become a firefighter?
I actually was not planning to become a firefighter. I have a background in health and safety education. And so this kind of was recommended to me and I love it. It's one of the best decisions I made. Thank you. All right. I will turn the time over to you guys. If you have any other questions, and close that session.
Well, thank you, Abigail. We appreciate that information and knowledge to keep our families safe from this summer when it's getting 100 degrees like it is today. So with that, just go ahead and talk to you all about our social medias and places you can follow us to keep in the loop with all that's going on here. Next up, if you want to go to the next one for me. Maybe not. Well, next up, we have our next Start with Safety meeting here on the 5th. It's going to be August 5th, so please join us for that. We'll be excited to have you guys there for that as well. And with that, that's it for us, and stay safe.